So, what happens when you take the insane appeal of a character like Hello Kitty and mash it together with the complex engine of a cryptoeconomy? Well, you might just get something like this, an entire world built around a surprisingly ambitious marmot. Let's break down how this super simple idea actually powers a really complex digital ecosystem.
Every big project really just starts with a simple observation. The founder, Dave, was looking at the Cardano blockchain, and he just noticed something was missing. You have all this serious, heavy technology, but there was no cuteness brand, right? No iconic, fun character for everyone to rally around. So as he puts it, he figured he'd take that job himself.
Okay, so before we get into all the tokenomics and the nitty-gritty tech stuff, let's start where the project itself started, with the brand. This is really a story about a marmot with some serious ambition.
The project's entire goal can be boiled down to a simple but really powerful question. What if Hello Kitty was built from the ground up on the blockchain? Instead of some huge centralized company, you'd have a decentralized community calling the shots. That's the core idea here, taking a model that we know works and completely reinventing it for the Web3 age.
The specific target they're aiming for is what's known as a Kawaii brand. Now that term comes from the Japanese culture of cuteness. And believe me, it is a serious business model. We're talking about global empires like Hello Kitty and Pokemon. They've proven that a simple, adorable character can become a multi-billion-dollar phenomenon.
And here he is, the star of the show, Squeak. Now, to be perfectly clear, he's an alpine marmot, not a hamster. The choice of animal was actually pretty strategic. Marmots are cute, they're funny, and most importantly, they're kind of an open canvas. No major corporation has really claimed them yet. The goal is simple: make this little guy the undisputed face of cuteness on the Cardano blockchain.
Okay, so we've got our character. But let's be real, a cute face isn't enough to power a whole economy. That brings us to the next layer of this little village, the currency that makes it all tick. The Squeak token.
The team uses this metaphor of a marmot village all the time, and it's actually a pretty good way to think about it. Because every village needs a currency to trade and do business. In the world of Squeak, that's the Squeak token. It's designed to be the lifeblood of this entire digital community. So how does this village economy actually keep itself going? Well, it all comes down to this one number, 3%. Every single time the Squeak token is purchased, a 3% fee is collected. And this isn't just some tax, it's the actual engine that drives the whole project. So the big question is, where does that 3% go?
And here's the breakdown. That 3% gets split evenly into three super important parts. A third of it goes to what's called LP growth. That's just liquidity pool growth, which basically makes trading the tokens smoother and more stable for everyone. Another third is used to buy back tokens from the market, which can help support the price. And that final third is dedicated entirely to building the brand. We're talking marketing, making merchandise, funding growth. The whole thing is designed to be a completely self-fueling system.
All right, so we have our charismatic leader, Squeak, and we have a currency to power the economy. But a village isn't really a village without its villagers, right? So let's meet the Squeaky Squeakers. These are the villagers, officially known as the Squeaky Squeakers. It's a collection of 4,444 unique NFTs, and they basically act as your membership card to the village. They're not just cool-looking digital art either. They have real utility. For instance, each one can be swapped for a huge chunk of $Squeak tokens, and the money from their initial sale is what gives the project's treasury its starting funds.
This brings up a really key question. Is it better to hold the token or the NFT? Well, the system is actually designed to reward both. Holding the SSqueak token gets you rewards based on how much you have. More tokens, more earnings. Simple. But holding the NFTs adds this whole other layer. You get rewards just for holding them, and you can even earn different kinds of tokens based on the unique visual traits of your specific Marmot NFT.
And this is where the whole design gets really clever. It heavily rewards you for being a dedicated community member. If you hold a lot of both the tokens and the NFTs, you unlock these powerful multipliers. The rewards literally stack on top of each other, which gives your overall earnings a massive boost. It's a direct incentive to be fully invested in the village's success. Okay, so we've met the character, the currency, and the villagers. But how do all these pieces actually fit together to create a sustainable, long-term economic cycle? To really get that, we need to go into the engine room.
This right here shows the economic loop that powers the entire village. It's a super clear four-step cycle. First, revenue from stuff like NFT sales and merch flows into a community treasury. Step 2. That treasury is actively invested in all sorts of things, not just crypto mining, but even traditional stuff like Forex trading. Step 3. The profits from those investments are then used to buy back $Squeak tokens right off the open market. And finally, Step 4. Those buybacks and profits are what directly fund the rewards paid out to all the token and NFT holders. It's a complete, self-perpetuating circle. It just keeps going.
So why build this whole complicated digital engine? Well, it all leads to a really simple and tangible goal, bridging that gap from Web3 to the real world.
At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to have a token that does well or a popular NFT collection. The real ambition is to build a brand that you can actually see and touch, to create a character that goes beyond the crypto world and enters mainstream culture. And look, this isn't just some hypothetical thing on a roadmap. They are actively building it. Squeak plushies are already being developed, with stickers and other physical merch on the way. The ultimate test of success here is creating a character that people love, whether they have any clue about the blockchain technology that's powering it all or not.
And that brings us to the final critical question. You've got the proven appeal of a cute, kawaii character, and it's backed by this really complex, self-sustaining economic engine built for Web3. But can this project actually make the leap from being a niche crypto community to a beloved mainstream brand? That really is the multi-million-dollar question, and it's going to be absolutely fascinating to watch how this ambitious little marmot answers it.